to the new entity orientation presented by OTA Tax Pros. This presentation is to be viewed while you have your company's corporate book. First off, I wish to congratulate you on starting your own business, which enables you to take financial responsibility into your own hands. As always, this webinar is for educational purposes and does not constitute advice. We recommend all students discuss their individual tax situation with us by scheduling an appointment. When you open your corporate book, the first thing you will see is the welcome letter from OTA Tax Pros with some key information about the entity setup and how it enables you to run as a business. I wish to cover a couple of these points. The first being, open a trading account and business bank account under their company name and federal ID number. You may use your business checking account and business credit card to pay off all your business-related expenses. Another thing we want to make sure is that you maintain accurate accounting records. We want to make sure that you retain all receipts and check for the business-related expenses. It is important to note that the accounts need to be in the name of your business in order to qualify for certain criteria. We will provide you with this information, and if you need any further clarification, we'll be happy to discuss this with you. The next two charts are to be used as reference tools for traders. If your business is not a trading business, then these items are not applicable and will likely not be included in your corporate book. Appearing first in the book for traders is the OTA Tax Pros Guidelines. What we have done to create these guidelines is taken a look at court cases where individuals and businesses have applied for trader status in securities but were denied by the IRS, and based on these court cases, we put together these 6 bullet points. The guide is based on the starting period of January 1st and ending December 31st at any given year. The first thing the IRS looks at is the number of round-trip trades. They are looking at about 500 round-trip trades, which equates to about 10 per week or 41 trades per month. As a note, most companies do not start on January 1st. If your company has started in the later 6-month period, then this amount is split into half for your first year. Another thing that the IRS takes a look at is the number of days executed in the market. With the market usually only being open around 250 days, 80% of that being 200 days, they want you to be in the market at least 200 days, whether you have an open position or if you're trading at a daily rate. It is important that you are trading in the market at least 80% of the time. The IRS determines this 80% rate by taking a look at an individual on the W-2, which includes sick days, holidays, personal days, and that equates to about 17% of the time that W-2 employees are not at work. So what they have given you is a 20% window for you to vacation, have sick days, and count holidays as well. One thing I do wish to caution you about is if you start in the middle of the year, this does not get cut down to 40%. It is still 80% of the available days left over in the market. So if the market is split in half and you have 100 days left in the market, you will need 80% of those 100 days trading. Additional criteria can be seen here. It is also recommended that you have a trading plan. Make sure that you have it documented. If you need a trading plan or you need help with your trading plan, please feel free to reach out to us. What we'll do for you is provide examples of trading plans so you are able to formulate your own. It is important to keep the plan fluid and changing based upon your education, your strategies, and the more detailed your trading plan is, the easier it is to update it. During your tax appointment with your professional, it is important to know the number of round-trip trades, relative funds of trading volume, the amount of trading time, so the professional can allocate the information correctly. These are guidelines, and we know that these can be challenging. Should you not reach these goals, it is still important to communicate how close you are to each of these so your tax professional can record accordingly. Next, we have the data fee flow chart. As you can see, it flows from trader type, non-professional trader, through account types, asset classes, exchange traded, and lastly, it identifies the data rates. We often get questions about the new entities we set up for our clients. What we have included is a frequently asked questions page to help with some of these. I would like to point out that every company is unique, and you may have questions that are particular to your company. If you need any of your questions clarified, or you have additional questions, we are available to you by phone or email. I do want to touch upon some frequently asked questions, such as, what is an annual report? The purpose of this report is to keep your entity data updated and in compliance with the state requirements. It is important that you accurately complete the necessary data, even if there was no change in your entity structure, location, and officer since the last filed report. This filing is mandatory to maintain active status and avoid administrative dissolution. If you'd like OTA Tax Pros to assist you in filing your report, please contact us and we'll be happy to accommodate you. Another question we'd like to touch upon is, when are my entity's taxes due? The filing date for business returns is March 15th. With an extension filed, the deadline is extended to September 15th. The first portion of the corporate book is informational, allowing you to be even more knowledgeable about your information generally so you can confidently apply it to your entity. The first page you'll notice is the company data sheet, which is used as a reference tool for the pertinent information regarding your company, including the entity name, the employer identification number, which identifies your company on the federal basis, and the state identification number, which can be used for state purposes. It is important that you provide your preparer with this information. Also, note that the registered agent's address is more than likely yours, unless you have elected to include a registered agent service. Should you wish to change this down the line, electing yourself or appointing an agent, please contact us and we'll happily assist you. Now, to move to the details of this information. You should turn the page and see the IRS.gov electronic issuing of a federal identification number, which is also referred to as the EIN. We obtain the EIN electronically on your behalf. The form will show you the assigned number and the name of your entity as it appears on the IRS website. In the instance of this form, there are no commas, ampersands, articles such as the, etc., etc. So do not worry if it appears with a minor difference. Legally, your name is how it appears on the articles issued by your state. Notice the date at the top left-hand corner. That is the date of the EIN was generated, and 4 to 6 weeks from that date, you will receive a formal letter in the mail from the IRS with the acceptance of your EIN. It is highly recommended you make copies of this form that you receive from the IRS, because they will not issue you another form. Many clients also scan and upload their letter that they received to the vault, so we can hold a copy for you on your behalf. You will need the IRS EIN letter to open bank accounts, trading accounts, and other accounts, which is why we emphasize to keep copies. The next page is Form SS4, and the SS4 is the application that is required to get the federal ID number on the behalf of someone else. It is a document that you sign down at the bottom, giving us authorization to do so on your behalf. And since you signed that document, we thought we'd provide you with a copy. If your company chooses to be treated as an S corporation, you will have this document in. Note that not all of you have this document. Those of you filing as an LLC or a partnership. This is the document that requests your company to be treated as an S corporation for tax purposes with the IRS. We filled this document out for you. You should find the effective date in this area boxed, and also on the second page has the shareholder information. We have faxed this document over to the IRS, and within 6 to 8 weeks, you will receive a confirmation in the same capacity that you received an EIN acceptance letter. All letters received by the IRS should be scanned and uploaded to the vault, and we highly recommend to make additional copies for your personal records. The next tab is the Articles of Incorporation or Organization. There are some states that use words like Certificate of Formation, Initial Report, Certificate of Incorporation, or any variant of those terms. I have shown examples of articles from the states of California, Texas, and Minnesota. Any of these types of forms, depending on what the state calls it, is a license for you to operate business in the state that you are located. Some of the documents will have a state tax ID number, which will be used for your state taxes. All of them will have a date when the company was formed within the state, which is often referred to as the formation date. This is another document that is required by your bank to open an account or by your trading platform if applicable. Some articles can range from 1 page up to 6 to 7 pages. There will also be a document in some instances called a statement of resignation, which indicates that although we set up the company, we are not a part of your entity in any capacity, and the statement of resignation can signify this. The next tab you are going to see in your corporate book is either operating agreement or bylaws. If you have an LLC, you'll see operating agreement, and if you have a corporation, you will have bylaws. What the bylaws and operating agreement refer to are the duties of the officers, purpose of the business, what shareholders mean, your distributions to be given out, how much money you put into the company, and within the 10 to 17 pages, depending on the state of your entity, it spells out all the rules of your company. What we do recommend is for you to go through these pages to ensure that there is nothing that is unclear to you or anything that you wish to add. If that is the case, you can let us know and we could take any parts out. Additionally, we can add any parts in. If there is something that you want to add and everyone in the company agrees, after, let's say, a year from now, you can add it as an amendment to the bylaws with the changes you wish to have applied. As always, if you have questions on how to do this, feel free to give us a call and we can explain the different articles and sections to you. On the last page, you'll find the area where you are to date, sign, and stamp your corporate seal. Whether it is an LLC or an S corporation, this portion must be completed. After this is signed, Any changes that you wish to make will have to come in the form of an amendment. In the tab that states minutes, you'll find a copy of the notice of the meeting of the members, which is the document to inform the shareholders that you are conducting a business meeting. Next is the minutes of the members for your entity. This is important for members who are not able to make a board meeting. It gives a summary of what happened in the meeting. It could talk about new elections of officers or directors, talk about the treasury report, and it's also a good time to discuss future action. If your parties are related, for example, husband and wife, it is understandable that the husband may have a meeting without the wife and vice versa. These documents are not required in this case if the only members are spouses. Next, you'll see the stock certificates that are issued to the shareholders of an entity. On the left, in blue, are corporation stock certificates, which will indicate the number of shares that each of the stockholders have. In most cases, this will be equivalent to 1,500 shares. There are as many stock certificates as there are shareholders. Should you need to issue more shares, you will need to issue stock certificates. Notice that the date of the certificate is the same date of the issuing of the EIN. On the right, in green, you'll see the LLC stock certificates, which uses percentage of ownership as opposed to share number. Note that most LLCs are issued 1,000 shares. Regardless of type, you will feel an embossed corporate seal on these certificates. You will have your corporate seal in a black pouch in the very front of the book, allowing you to issue more. Also note, you will need to sign the certificate based on the position you hold within the company. Corporations use language such as president and secretary, while LLCs use member or member manager. The next two tabs of the book include your membership ledger and additional forms for your state specifically. We have also included our flyers for your convenience. Thank you for watching the new entity orientation. We wish you the best of luck. If there are any questions or you would like to have a more in-depth conversation about your unique entity, we're here for you. We are here to help you. Your professional is here to offer you year-round advisory service. Simply email or call us and we can set up an appointment. You are in good hands with OTA Tax Pros. We'll take care of you.